सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमान् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सुखं नित्यं स्वप्रकाशं व्यापकं नाम रूपयोः अधिष्ठानं बुद्धिबोध्यं बुद्धिर्व्यक्तु निर्मलम् अपारं सर्ववेदान्त वेद्यं प्रत्यक्परं महः तदेवाहं न मत्तोऽन्यदिति मे निश्चिता मतिः। Yes, summary.
We are seeing the section where the Akshepa and Samadhana are given. Akshepa regarding the Mangala Shlokas and the Samadhana. And the first Akshepa was that how can you do the Mangala Shloka where you are remembering yourself and not any Devata. And there it was told that when I remember myself, then all Devatas are as well remembered. Second Akshepa was that not you, but when Ishvara is remembered, then all Devatas are remembered. And the Samadhana was given that Ishvara also is included in me which is Chin Matra. And now the third Akshepa is there. Nanu Shuddhe Brahmani Ishvaraha Kalpitaha iti Shakyate Vaktum Natu Sutaram Tvai Parichinne. It is possible to say that Ishvara is superimposed on Shuddha Brahma, on pure consciousness, and definitely not in you, or not at all in you who is limited. Ataha, since Ishvara is superimposed on Shuddha Brahma and not in you, therefore Nirguna Brahma Smaranena eva krutani bhavanti itara sakala devata mangalani natu tvat smaranat iti chet. Therefore, by the remembrance of Nirguna Brahma alone, the Mangalani, the prayers to all the other Devatas are as well done, and not by remembrance of you. You refers to limited you, if this is the doubt. And to this particular Akshepa, answer is given Uchyate. It is told that Yatha Adhisthana Bhuta Rajvadya Jnanat Sarpadi Brahmaha Tadadhisthana Yathatmya Jnanena Tan Nivrittihi Cha. So here the Drishtanta part is explained. It is said, just as there is the delusion regarding Sarpa, etc. Why is it that?
Delusion regarding
of, yes.
Delusion in the power or delusion of us.
Yes. So there is delusion of Sarpa, etc. Why is it there? Because of the ignorance of the Rajwadi, which is in the form of Adhisthana. And tad Adhisthana Yathatmya Jnanena Tan Nivrittihi. Tan Nivrittihi means Brahma Nivrittihi. There is cessation of this particular delusion by the true knowledge, or the knowledge of the true nature of that Adhisthana. In that way, Tatha, similarly, Sakala Jagad Adhisthana Pratyageka Brahma Jnanat Jagat Pratiyate Tada Parokshena Nishesham Nivartate Cha. Similarly, the Jagat is appearing. And when does it appear? Or why does it appear? On account of the ignorance of Brahma. And what kind of Brahma? The Brahma which is inner self and which is homogeneous, and also which is the adhishthanam of this entire world. And tadaparokshena means tad aparokshena, when there is the immediate knowledge of that Brahma, then what happens? Adhyastam jagat nishesham nivartate cha. Then at that time, the jagat which is adhyastam, which is superimposed, is completely negated. Tajya adhishthanam brahma pratyagatma aham eva. And that Brahma who is the adhisthana of this jagat and who is pratyagatma is me alone. So by this it is said that when the Shuddha Brahma is remembered, then that Shuddha Brahma is my true nature alone. So when in the Mangala Shloka it was said, Tadeva Brahma Aham Eva, that Aham referred to I who is of the nature of pure consciousness, Shuddha Brahma. And when I am in the form of Shuddha Brahma, I am remembered, then Ishvara is remembered, and thereby all the Devatas are also remembered.
To be precise, when we are giving the answer to the Akshepa, we have to say that you have accepted that by remembering Shuddha Brahma, Ishvara and all Devatas are remembered. That Shuddha Brahma I alone am. Therefore, remembrance of me is remembrance of Brahma, and thereby it is remembrance of Ishvara and all the Devatas. A little bit more precisely. Okay. So the third Akshepa, we were seeing Akshepa and answer. That person says, Shuddha Brahmani Ishvara Kalpita. In Shuddha Brahma, Ishvara is Kalpita. Means what? Shuddha Brahma appears as Ishvara due to Adhyasa of Maya. Due to Adhyasa of Maya and Sambandha of Maya with Brahman. Maya Sambandhena eva Brahmani Ishvaratva Pratiti. Because Ishvara means what? Maya Pratibimbita or Maya Upahita Brahma. So Brahman gets the status of Ishvara because of Maya and Maya Sambandha. And Maya Sambandha is what? Is Adhyasa or Adhyastha. Therefore, we say Shuddhe Brahmani Ishvara Kalpitaha. That can be said. But not by remembering you. But in you, the Ishvara is not Kalpita. In fact, you are the product of Ishvara. Purvapakshi is looking upon the Siddhanti as a person. And he sees that the fellow who is sitting in front of me is very limited. In that whole Ishvara, all Devatas are superimposed. Doesn't look possible. Natu sutaram tvai parichinne. And therefore, Nirguna Brahma Smaranena, Ishvara Smaranam, Devata Smaranam possible, not by your remembrance. To that, our answer is that when I am presenting the Namaskara, or I am presenting this Mangala Charanam, where there is remembrance of I, the self, that I, the self, is not Parichinna Jiva Rupa. You are looking upon me as an individual and therefore you have got all objections. But when I am presenting that I am everything, that time my I is not stuck with the body or the prana or mana or Vijnanamaya or Ananda. My I is elevated to Chinmatra Swarupa, which is Brahma. And therefore, Matsmaranam is Brahma Smaranam. And you yourself have accepted Brahma Smaranam is Ishvara Smaranam, Sakal Devata Smaranam. And therefore, your objection is not valid. And we tell them that Brahman because of Agdanam appears as Jiva. You are seeing me as a person, as a Jiva, but Jivatvam in me is Adhyaropita. Due to Agdanam and due to Adhyasa, the Jivatva appears. But when Adhyasa is removed, Agdanam is removed, then my Jivatva Bhranti is gone. And I am looking upon myself as Pratyak Ekarasa Brahma, Brahman which is homogeneously one with Pratyagatma. And therefore, Matsmaranam is Brahmasmaranam, Ishwarasmaranam. That answer is given. And before saying that Brahman I alone am, he is clarifying which Brahman I am. Because otherwise Purvapakshi may say that what Brahman I was thinking is different and what Brahman you are equating to yourself is different. Therefore, उसको पूछते यही number है ना? Like sometimes they check the number that what you have written second time you write. So that it is exactly the same. Therefore, he said that Brahman which is the Adhishthanam of everything, that Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara, that Brahma is Pratyagatma which is me. And what is that Brahman which is the Adhishthanam? Yasya Agdanena or Yasya Agdanat Jagat Pratiyate, Yasya Agdanat Jagat Badhyate, Na Pratiyate, Satyatvena Na Pratiyate, Tad Brahma Ahamasmi. I am that Brahman because of whose ignorance there is appearance of the world and the Jiva and even Ishvara. I am that Adhisthana Brahma because of whose ignorance there is appearance of Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara or Kalpana of Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara, and by whose knowledge this Kalpana is negated. That Adhisthana Brahma I am. So by saying this, what is it? Whatever Brahman you were referring to, in which Ishvara is Kalpita, you have accepted that Brahma, Adhisthana Bhuta Brahma, I am. Ahameva. And therefore, Matsmaranam is Brahmasmaranam, Ishwarasmaranam, Devatasmaranam. And now, Brahman and Atma are one. This idea is presented in our Shastra in different ways, and that some of them are quoted by the Granthakara. Ayamatma hi brahmeva sarvatmakataya sthitah.
Ayamatma hi brahmaiva sarvatmakataya sthitah
Iti nirdharitam shrutya brihadaranya samsthaya.
iti nirdharitam shrutya brihadaranya samsthaya.
Ayamatma hi, this Atma indeed, Brahma eva is Brahman alone. And Sarvatmakataya sthitaha, this Atma is present as the very self of all. So this Atma is Brahman which is present as the self of all, essence of all. And iti, in this manner, nirdharitam shrutya, it is nirdharitam, well ascertained by Shruti. Which Shruti? Brihadaranya samsthaya, that which is obtaining in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So Brihadaranya samsthaya or Brihadaranya rupaya Shrutya nirdharitam, obtaining in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad or Brihadaranyaka Upanishad rup Shrutya. Kim nirdharitam? Ayamatma Brahmaiva. See, Ayamatma Brahma, that Vakya comes in Mandukya also. But he is not considering Mandukya Vakya, he is considering Brihadaranyaka Vakya. There also this comes, Ayamatma Brahmaiva. Alright. So, Brihadaranyaka Shruti says, Atma is Brahma alone. Therefore, Atma Smaranam is Brahma Smaranam, which is Ishvara Devata Smaranam. Now, second, this shloka, this first one which we read now, is Aparokshanubhuti. Maybe some variation is there, you can check. Aparokshanubhuti text is there, no? Shankaracharya is that. Now, second is from Vishnu Purana and according to some Linga Purana. यच्चाप्नोति यदा दत्ते यच्चात्य विषयानिह
यच्चाप्नोति यदा दत्ते यच्चाति विषयानिह
यच्चास्य सन्ततो भावः तस्मादात्मेति गीयते
यच्चास्य सन्ततो भावः तस्मादात्मेति गीयते.
So here 4 derivations of the word Atma is given to show that Atma is Brahma. Whatever is the lakshanas of Atma are the lakshana of Brahma. And thus Brahma eva Atma, Atma eva Brahma. Yesterday we saw that there is no Brahman as an object other than I. What really I am, that alone is Brahma. There is no Brahman which I have to meet with, or I have to talk to, or I have to reach. Brahman is the word which indicates my true nature. Brahman is not a new entity revealed by Shastra. Brahman is the new identity recognized by oneself. So far I was thinking I am Jivaha, I am Karta, I am Bhokta. That wrong identities I had. Those wrong identities are negated and the real identity is revealed by Shastra using the word Brahma. When the Shastra says you are Brahman, it is not new entity revealed. It is your real identity is revealed. Like a prince who was lost, he is told you are the prince. That time it is not that he is made a king, he is made the prince. He is not made the prince. He was prince and he is just made to recognize his real identity. So that Brahman alone is Atma, Atma alone is Brahma. That idea is conveyed through the definition of the word Atma. So 4 definitions are given. Yaccha apnoti, yasmat apnoti, tasmad atma iti giyate. That reality, since it's yat means yasmat, since it pervades everything, therefore it is called Atma. So what is the definition of Atma given? Apnoti sarvam vyapnoti iti Atma. That which pervades everything is Atma. Satchid rupena sarvam vyapnoti. Therefore it is called Atma. Ap dhatu. Apnoti iti Atma. Alright. Second is yad adatte. Apurvaka da dhatu. Yad yasmat adatte sarvam pralaya kale. Pralaya kale sarvam svikaroti is called Atma. That which is the resolution ground of everything is Atma. Sarvam adatte iti Atma. So it's another root. Alright. And atti vishayan iha ad dhatu. Sarvam atti iti Atma. That which perceives, really atti means consumes, perceives, illumines all the objects is Atma. Sakshitvena Atma sarvan vishayan prakashayati. It illumines all the objects, and that is figuratively called consumption of the objects, bhoga of the objects. And therefore Atma, therefore this tattvam, reality is called Atma. And the fourth one, Yacha, and because Asya, of this reality, Santataha Bhava, Sarvada Astitvam, constant existence. Santata means constant, and Bhavaha means existence. One who has got constant existence is Atma. And this is based on the At Dhatu. In fact, main derivation of Atma is based on At Dhatu only. At Satatya Gamane. Atati Sarvada Jagra Swapna Shushuptyadishu Anuvartate Sa Atma. Atati Santatam Sarvada Jagradadi Su Sarvasu Avasthasu Anuvartate iti Atma. That which continues to exist in all three states of experience, in all three periods of time, that is Atma. At plus Manin Pratyaya. At plus Manin Pratyaya becomes Atma. So Atati iti Atma. At Dhatu, Atati iti Atma. And all this Tasman, therefore, because of these four derivations, Atma iti Giyate. That Tattvam is Giyate, means mentioned as Atma. And from this definition, what is the idea derived? That Brahman is Sarvavyapakam. Brahman is said to be Pralaya Karanam. Brahman is said to be Sakshi Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman. One who is obtaining in the Buddhi as Sakshi, illumining all the experiences, all the objects of the thoughts, and one who continues to be, who never ceases to be, Sat Swarupa, that is Brahman, and that is what is Atma also. So, Atma Brahma, right? Brahma Lakshanatvat, Brahmavat. Atma is Brahma, why? Because Atma has the all Lakshanam of Brahma. Lakshana Samyat, Lakshya Samyam. Since there is one identity of Lakshana, therefore Lakshya is the same. Since there is oneness of Lakshana, therefore there is oneness of Lakshya. So Brahma, Atma, why? Brahma Lakshanatvat, Brahmavat. Brahmavat Drashtant we have to give. Brahma has got Brahma Lakshana, no? So, because otherwise Drashtant, where will it got? So, it's a very funny example. So, we have to give Brahman only. Brahma, okay, Atma, Brahma, because Brahma Lakshanas are there. So, Atma, Brahma. See, Shastra, how much Shastra attempts to drive home this point. You are Brahman. You are Brahman. But Jiva, within a minute, next second also, no, Swamiji, but I don't understand all this. I can't accept all this. This Jiva Bhava comes. We are saying you are the one you are the Sakshi of understanding, non-understanding Buddhi. We are not talking about your intelligence or non-intelligence. Sometimes they translate that consciousness and intelligence. Some book I have seen. Not a good translation. Intelligence. Intelligence is not consciousness. But you might have seen that is a translation. I saw recently one book. So, I am Sakshi of this Buddhi. But we, so strongly embedded that again, I look upon myself from the standpoint of the body and ask question, how can I be Brahman? Shastra is telling you to be Brahman from the standpoint of this Chaitanya Swarupa, which is your true Swarupa. And you come down to this and ask this question. Alright. It is understandable. Therefore, Shastra repeats. Shastra also knows that this type of problem is going to be there. Therefore, wherever possible, this idea is brought. Then the next one is Tattvamasi. Tvam tadasi. Yat param brahma sarvatma vishwasyayatanam mahat. Sukshmat sukshmataram nityam tattvameva tvameva tat. Then the most popular Mahavakya, Tattvamasi. You are that. That you are. That Brahman you are. Or you are that Brahman. Asi there, no? So you are that Brahman. That this Tattvamasi is analyzed so much. In Vedanta Sara we saw so much analysis is there. Sambandha Trayana. No? What are the Sambandha Traya?
पदयोः सामानाधिकरण्यम् पदार्थयोः विशेषण विशेष्य भाव संबंधः लक्षण लक्ष्य संबंधः पद पदार्थ and लक्ष्ययोः.
That is the complicated one. What is third one?
Lakshana Lakshaka Sambandha between the Pada and the Lakshya.
Pada and Lakshya king.
Lakshya Atma or Brahman.
Pratyekatma.
And between the Padartha and the Pratyekatma.
So Pada Padartha and Pratyekatma have got Lakshya Lakshana Sambandha. By this, then so much analysis is done that Vishishta Vakyartha is not possible, Samsarga is not possible, Akhandeka Rasa is possible, and in that Lakshana is required. Jahati Lakshana will not work, Jahati will not work, Jahatya Jahati alone will work. All these things are there. So very Tattvamasi is a what is called like a high energy sentence, energy packed sentence. Yeah. Lot of things are there. Tattvamasi. There is one book called Vakya Vritti. It's an explanation of Mahavakya. Alright. Tattvamasi. And there is Chandogya Upanishad. Tvam Tadasi. That is Pingala Upanishad 3.1. Tvam, you are that. Tvam Tadasi. Similar to Tattvamasi. Then Kaivalya Upanishad. Yat Param Brahma Sarvatma. Brahman, Param Brahman, which is Sarvatma, which is Vishwasya Ayatanam Mahat, which is Mahat, all pervasive or big, limitless Ayatanam, abode of the entire world, and Sukshma Sukshmataram, which is subtler than the subtle things you know of, Nityam, permanent, Tad Brahma. So far there is a description of Brahma. Brahman which is Sarvatma, Brahman which is the Mahat, Vyapakam, pervasive, Brahman which is the Adhishtanam of the entire world, Brahman which is the subtlest, Brahman which is Nityam, Tad Brahma. Tvameva. That Brahman you alone are. But somebody may Amshamshi Bhava may think Tvameva Tat. Therefore he said Tat Tvameva Tvameva Tat. You alone are that. Nobody else. You alone are that. Otherwise you may say that I also am Brahman, but there are so many people called Brahman. That is why your Brahman doesn't excite you. Why? Because Swamiji is telling everybody. Whereas if I say you are very intelligent, you are the most intelligent person I have seen, that elevates you. Why? Because that is only me. Whereas this you are Brahman, oh what is that? Everybody is Brahman. So you want to be somebody special. That craving for becoming special is a part of samsara, and the obsession with that craving is an obstacle to Brahmadana. That is why we emphasize that don't try to project yourself. Because what you are projecting is a false identity. You are projecting what you are not. किसी की जय बुला रहे हैं, आपकी जय बुलाओ ना. So you are falsely projecting. But when a person is free from that type of obsession that I want to become special, then he will be able to appreciate the glory of this sentence. That yes, I am Brahman means nothing is lacking in me. I don't have any need to excel. I don't have any need to compete with anybody. Otherwise, competition is like a inherent property of Jiva. Wherever he goes, he competes. In the school, we are competing. If my number is second, then cry. We used to cry. My first number somebody came. So that we were doing. In game, of course, we compete. Then in job, we compete. Then neighbors, my children, in terms of children, we compete. My child is getting 95. How much your child is getting? Compete. Even Vedanta, we compete. I am by hearting this many shlokas. How many you are by hearting? I am by hearting most, maximum number of shlokas. Compete. I can give better summary. Compete. I can be a good teacher. I have 70 students. How many you have? This is how this competitive spirit, it doesn't go so easily. And moreover, the problem becomes more complicated because the world also will provoke that spirit. See, if he can do, you also can do. So शांति से बैठा तो उसको खड़ा कर देते हैं. But then he's sitting quietly. Oh, why they are doing all? See, all people who are studying with you are teaching, and you are simply doing meditation. That one has to see this fallacy of that. And of course, it's a mutually. More I see my true nature, the greatness of my true nature, then this competitive spirit goes. And competitive spirit goes, more I will be able to see. They grow upon each other. But to the extent possible, we use our viveka itself. It is what do I get? It's something you must have seen. Two children are walking. All of a sudden they get the idea. Who will touch that tree first? They run. And one person take out. What happened? Nothing. They don't give prize or anything, but just satisfaction. And that one fellow fell down and crying. All that. Just he is touching and he is seeing that. That's all. Our all competition is like this. Suppose you got first, so what? Many times, many first have come. You made a record. As somebody said, every record is meant for breaking, meant to be broken. Every record. So many years it remains, but will be broken. One day it has to break. So one sees that. But I am that Brahman which includes everything. We keep seeing this particular fact, and that Shruti is highlighting very often. That's why so many texts are there, Vakya Vritti, and we in that Lahu Vakya Vritti is there, and on that Vakya Vritti, so many commentaries are there to understand that Tvam Tadasi. Then Tat Tvameva Tat. You are that, and that you are. Means you are not Amsha of Brahman, you are Brahman. You alone are Brahman. Nobody else is Brahman. Means there is nobody in Brahman. If there is somebody, then there will be problem. But Brahman is free from any Vishesha. Therefore, in Brahman there are not many people that this I am the A Brahman, then B Brahman, C Brahman. There is no such thing. Brahman is free from all Vishesha. And that Nirvishesha Brahma I am, in which there is no Amsha. Okay. Then Ekam. Okay, this we have not read, no? एकमाद्यन्तरहितं चिन्मात्रममलं ततम्
एकमाद्यन्तरहितं चिन्मात्रममलं ततं
खादप्यतितरां सूक्ष्मं तद्ब्रह्मासि न संशयः
खादप्यतितिरां सूक्ष्मं तद्ब्रह्मासि न संशयः.
In the previous shloka, which is a Kaivalya Upanishad mantra, Tattvameva Tvameva Tat. It's called Vyatiharena Nirdesha. Means reversely we present. Tattvameva Tvameva Tat. Or Tadeva Tvam. Tattvameva Tadeva Tvam. That also we can see. That you alone are and that alone you are. So that why double twice we have to say? Because there is a possibility of Amsham Shibhava. Like Tamil Nadu can be told you are India. It's true. Tamil Nadu also is India. But Tamil Nadu is not the whole India. Therefore we have to say that you are not like Tamil Nadu a part of India and therefore called India. You are Brahman and you alone are Brahman. Nothing else. There is nobody else, nothing other than you which can claim to be Brahman. There is no other person. From the standpoint of Paramartha Brahma, there is no other person to claim that I am Brahman. So you will feel bad that I claim I am Brahman and somebody else claim. Something like Everest, you reach, then somebody else also will reach. Only thing you have satisfaction, I reach first. But before you, some other insect also must have reached. Something jiva, we don't know. And this was recorded. In olden days, some people might have reached also. Who knows? That time camera and media was not there. Some our Jogi Baba must have reached also there. Then Tapasya also. Who knows? But recorded is this person. Anyway, so but Brahman is not like that. So Brahman, I alone am Brahman, and Brahman alone I am. To convey this idea so that there is no Amsham Shibhava, this Vyatiharena Nirdesha is done. Okay, then Ekam, one, Adyantarahitam, free from beginning and the end, Chinmatram, pure consciousness, Amalam, free from any impurity, Tatam, Tatam is Vyapakam, Vyaptam, Tat Dhatu, Tan Dhatu, Ta Pratyaya, Tatam, Yena Sarvam Idam Tatam, comes no Bhagavad Gita. Khad Api Atitara. Khad means Akashat. Khad. मतलब we think खाने का कहाँ आ गया? खाद अपि, खाद means आकाशाद अपि अतितराम सूक्ष्मम. Intensely, exceedingly subtle compared to even Akasha. Why? Because Akasha has got one guna, therefore it is subtler compared to other elements. But our Brahman is what? Nirguna. Therefore, Akashadapi Sukshmam. Tad Brahma. That Brahma Asi, Tvam Asi. You are. Na Samshayaha. There is no doubt about it. See, teacher has to say, Annapurna Upanishad. Teacher has to say Na Samshaya. Why? Because there is a possibility of Samshaya. Prasaktasyeva Pratishedaha. So doubt comes. How can I be Brahman? How can I be Brahman? That type of doubt remains for so many years. It can remain. So one has to see it again and again with Pramanya Buddhi in Shastra. Many people have got problem in this Pramanya Buddhi of Shastra. And if that is the issue, then very difficult. They will say that why this, how can I be Brahman? And another problem is that they have got little bit what is called this suspicious mind, that they don't have trust in tradition. Maybe there is another interpretation of this, and other interpretation may be better. So they will read that, and that also has got some logical basis. That is why they become Purva Paksha. And sometimes what happens that Purva Paksha looks so strong that becomes our view. People fall in love with this Purva Paksha. And then Purva Paksha, if it is not answered or you are enamored by the arguments, then that Purva Paksha becomes Siddhanta. It happens. Therefore, before sufficient exposure, one should not read too many darshanas. It is something like a tree is growing. At that time, you should not move. नहीं ट्री हमारा स्ट्रॉन्ग ही ट्री होना चाहिए पहले से उसको स्ट्रॉन्ग करना है तो ये होगा ही नहीं will not be there. After it is grown strong, then you move it. First let it grow. Before its sufficient growth, if it is subject to such shaking, then it will be destroyed. Therefore, it is not that our Vedanta Siddhanta doesn't have answer. All questions are raised and answered. But since you are not exposed to all those discussions, therefore what you will feel? Oh, iska to koi jawab hi nahi. There is no answer. That how something can be anadi. And this Maya was created. Nowhere in Vedanta it is written something. I have this doubt. Anything is there should have been created. And Maya is there, you say Maya is there, therefore should have been created. There, nowhere Swamiji, how Maya is born, there nowhere written. So I remain doubtful. My understanding is doubtful. Once I asked for Swamiji, people ask this, why there is Maya? It's the catch of that. बोले कि उनको पूछो why there is Brahman also. So, if you are asking that, you ask this also. Why there is Maya? Maya is that. Maya, it is the nature of Maya to be until you know. Devasyesha Swabhavaha. That is how it is. But what happens? We have this Karya Karanatva Buddhi orientation very strong. What? Anything which is experienced by us must be Karyam, experienced by us, and anything which is known to us must be a Karyam. And therefore it must have been born. And therefore what? You have to tell me the cause. Now we are talking about Maya. Maya must have Karya. And therefore you have to tell me what is the cause. Many people, for easy answer, they say Maya is born of Brahman. थोड़ा शांत हो जाता है. Then but for few days person will be quiet. After question will come, but why Swamiji Maya was born of Brahman? Then you will not have answer. Then there is something we have to say. More like a deep meditation will end. We have got some escape routes. ये थियरी की बात नहीं है. ये beyond intellect की बात है. And in meditation, all thoughts should be resolved. Even a single thought comes, you will not understand this. This realization will not come. That fellow will remain. It is something like, a person is told that आपको काम क्या है? बोले कि कुत्ते की पूंछ सीधी करो. You straighten the tail of the dog. So he will remain busy. So similarly, some improbable exercise you give and you say it will come. That person is on the trip. That is how Puja Swamiji used to say in the spiritual pursuit, most of the people on some trip, either they say I want to do some mystic, I want to have some mystic experience, some realization, some light or something, or I want to make my mind thoughtless. And then I want to maintain that thoughtless state. It will not be possible. Because you have got hunger, thirst, etc. Prarabdha is there, so it will bring you down. Some insect will come. Prarabdha insect also is there, right? So it will bring, the thought will come. Therefore, people, they are on the trip. And therefore we understand this, that Shastra has said this, and let us have the mind to understand what Shastra says about it. Does it make sense or not? No, it can be different way also. It can be different way, but it's not different way. Like you went from this place to a temple in a particular way. You could have gone different way also. Someday you go, someday you didn't go. See, you went this particular. It has a fact. It has happened. Similarly, there is a fact about Maya that it is anadi, and afterwards you will understand it is such a great thing that is anadi. If Maya is not anadi, means it is not beginningless. Then what will happen? It will have beginning. You removed Maya by your so much sadhana, and Maya has got beginning, so it will again begin. That which is sadi will begin again. Since anadi means it cannot begin. That was such a great thing. And if it is sadi, we'll have so many logical questions. Why Maya was born? Who created Maya? So, is there a potential of Maya? If there is a potential of Maya, then again that potential can come. All these questions will be there. Therefore, we understand this, that the way Shastra is presenting, it makes sense, and let me see the way Shastra is showing. You don't try to edit Shastra, you try to understand Shastra. Otherwise, if samshaya atma vinashyati, therefore it says na samshaya. Then next one is anena sarvam hi etad veda.
Anena sarvam hi etad veda.
This is Brihadaranyaka 147. Anena means atmana, natena. Hi yasva etad sarvam veda. Sarvam is anatma jatam. Anyat yat tat sarvam veda. By knowing Atma, one knows everything. Anena Atmana Gnatena Etat Sarvam Veda. Means by the self being known, means by the knowledge of the self, one knows everything. This is a very popular statement in Shastra. In Chandogya also it comes, in Mundaka as a question it comes. And here Brihadaranyaka 147. That once a person knows Atma, then all anatmas are as well known. Because Atma is the essence of everything. Therefore, anena sarvam hi etad veda. Means what? Atma alone is sarvatmaka. And sarvam kim? Brahma. Therefore, Atma is Brahma. Okay. So this sentence also reveals that Atma is Brahma because Atma is sarvatmaka. Brahma is sarvatmaka, Atma is revealed as sarvatmaka. Therefore, Atma is Brahma. Then next one is presenting Atma as the innermost and the dearest. Tadetat preyaha putrat.
Tadetat preyaha putrat.
Preyaha vittat.
Preyaha vittat.
Preyaha anyasmat sarvasmat.
Preyaha anyasmat sarvasmat.
Antarataram yad ayam atma.
Antarataram yad ayam atma.
Saha yaha anya atmanam anyam atmanah priyam bruvanam.
Saha yaha anyam atmanah priyam bruvanam.
Bruyat priyam rotsyati iti.
Priyam rotsyati iti.
Ishvaraha tathaivatvat. Ishvaraha tathaiva syat.
Ishvaraha tathaiva syat.
Atmanam eva priyam upasita.
Atmanam eva priyam upasita.
आत्मा हि एषां सह भवति
आत्मा हि येषां सह भवति
यत् साक्षात् अपरोक्षात् ब्रह्म यः आत्मा सर्वान्तरः
यत् साक्षात् अपरोक्षात् ब्रह्म यः आत्मा सर्वान्तरः
इत्यादि श्रुतिभ्यः.
इत्यादि श्रुतिभ्यः.
So in this Shruti, this is Brihadaranyaka 148, where Atma is presented as the dearest, and it is dearest because it is the innermost essence of everyone, and Brahman is presented as innermost essence. Therefore, Atma is Brahman. That is the essential idea. Atma is dearest because it is the innermost, and Brahman is innermost. Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman, and therefore Atma is Brahma. And this is one of the popular mantras of Brihadaranyaka. Tadetat, that this Atma Tattvam Putrat Preyaha, dearer compared to the son, compared to a son, daughter, whatever Priya, compared to sons. As here Jato compared to son. As well. Compared to the son, he is dear. Why Putrat is used? Because generally son is very dear to parents. Son or daughter, very dear. They say, Swamiji, हमारे life तो और कुछ है ही नहीं. They are our life. Swamiji, we live for them only. People are so, I have seen, my God, the attachment to the children is so powerful, so powerful. Even though they may be harassing, still be for them only. They will say, Swamiji, whatever money I have, I will give it to them and come to the ashram. So, money I will give it to them. Swamiji, they are harassing me and everything. I want to come to the ashram. So everything I will give it to them and come. Everything you will give to them and come to the ashram. The attachment so strong. I have seen that. Very. So therefore Shruti knows that. So Putrat Preyaha. Then Vittat Preyaha. Wealth. Compared to wealth, it is Atma Tattvam is dearer. Okay. Then Anyasmat Sarvasmat Preyaha. Compared to anything else, everything else, it is Preyaha. Generally people say, Swamiji, I love him more than myself and all this. But really, there is love for oneself only. We have seen Atmanastu Kamaya Sarvam Prem Bhavati. Atma is dearer than anything else. Whether we accept this fact or not, that is a fact. A fact doesn't take your permission. Whether should I be or not. Fact is the fact. Some people don't like. Swamiji, do you think I am selfish? Whatever you conclude, but the fact is Atma is dearest. Okay. And Antarataram, because it is the innermost, Yadayam Atma. This Atma is Antaratara. Atma, which is innermost, is dearest. Then this incidentally, this is not so much relevant, but incidentally he has quoted full mantra, therefore we get this idea. Why do you say that Atma is the dearest and everything else is not dearest? And why? In the Shruti says that since Atma is dearest, one should pursue to know this Atma. Leaving all other pursuits, one should pursue the knowledge of Atma. Tasmat tat labhe mahan yatna astheya. That is what is said in the Bhashya. Since Atma is the Antaratama and therefore dearest, Therefore, one should make great effort for attaining, claiming, knowing this Atma. Alright. And what is the significance of that? Why one should strive for knowing or claiming this Atma? He says, if you are stuck with anything else in the world, considering that to be Priyam, then that Priyam will make you cry. Why? Because it will be destroyed. And you know, if somebody doesn't have children from the beginning, it is a painful thing. But after having the child and when the child dies, it is more painful. It's like AC. No? If you did not have AC, you were managing. But once AC has come, you use for 2-3 years, and then it goes away. It is very painful. Some people cannot travel by this second class non-AC, they can't travel. Difficult. So, Shruti is warning. He says, Saha yaha anyam atmanah priyam bruvanam bruyat. If somebody is telling something else, atmanah anyam priyam bruvanam, one who he is, the person who is telling something else to be dear. My son is very dear. My wealth is very dear. So one who is having this type of obsession to that person. Another one who is knowing Atma alone to be dearest. Saha yaha bruyat. If he says Atma priyatvavadi, if he says priyam rochyati, your dear one will perish. Rochyati means will die, will be destroyed. Then Ishvaraha, the Atma Priyatvavadi is capable of saying this. Indeed. Why? Tathaiva syat. It would happen like this. So imagine what is the dialogue? Somebody, a wise person or a mature person who knows that Atma alone is Priyatama. And other person is saying, no, not Atma. These things are very dear. Pitta, Putra, Vitta, etc. To that second person, the first one says, your Priya will perish. Then he is capable of saying this. Why? Pashyakara says, Yatha Bhutavadihi Saha. He is telling the fact. Therefore what? Tathaiva syat. It will happen like this. So the immature person who is holding on to something else as the dearest, if that immature person is told by the mature person that your dear will perish, it will happen. Why? Because he is telling the fact. Therefore, tathaiva syat. It would happen like this. Therefore, what? Atmanameva priyam upasita. May you pursue Atmanam alone as priyam, the dearest, and therefore may you pursue only Atma. By this, what is suggested? Atma is Priyatama because it is Antaratama, and that is what Brahman is. Alright, more we see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri